What's up, everyone, and welcome to the Project XTalk podcast, episode 24, your weekly podcast all about Xbox. If you like that, please subscribe to the channel and drop us a like. For our audio listeners, the few of you who are out there, make sure to follow us. And if everyone could go drop a review on Apple, that'd be great. It really does help grow the channel. We really do appreciate it. My name is Kevin. I'm the host as usual. And this week, I'm joined by Tom and Garrett. How you guys doing?
I'm doing
Good as
fine.
always. I'm sorry, Garrett. I didn't mean to interrupt you. Good as always. Make sure I emphasize that.
Oh, I'm great. It's beautiful out today. Excited to talk about some games, even though we got a little more news today than I thought we were going to have going into the show. But as per usual here on Project XTalk, we start every week by going around the room and asking a simple question. And that question is, what you playing? So, Tom, what you playing?
I've been playing a little bit of Quantum Break. I don't know why. I just wanted to play it. I think after playing Control, I was like, I want to play some other Remedy's work again. And I just ended up there, and the game is actually so bad. I don't like what they did with it. I'm probably not going to play it again after the last session. But
That's hilarious.
Because they went with like a TV movie, series aspect, but I feel like that could have been fine, but like the actual gameplay parts of it, I feel like it's not engaging enough. Like I don't really feel like I'm playing it.
My brother said, because he played through Control, not Ultimate Edition, just original on Game Pass. He said Quantum Break was better than Control.
I don't think so. I don't agree with him.
I haven't played Quantum Break, so I played Control Ultimate Edition, which I loved. So it'd be hard to beat that. I mean, except the DLC. Fuck the DLC. That's garbage. But have you played Alan Wake?
I've played through Alan Wake on the 360. I never played the American Nightmare one, but I did play Alan Wake. I love that one too.
Okay. All right. It's 2 out of 3. 2 out of 3 ain't bad. I'm excited to keep an eye. But yeah, that was just funny because he said he liked Quantum Break more. Playing anything else?
No, I mean, this week, I really haven't touched my Xbox a whole lot this week. A little bit of Quantum Break. I've been playing some Forza, just going through every season on there. Because they'd like to do weekly seasons on there. And you really have to be dedicated and play every week if you want to have any sort of progression. And it's kind of annoying.
Yeah, weekly seems a bit much.
Yeah, and they have like really good rewards for the week. So I'm like, do I want to miss out on this MR2 or this RX-7 from 87? No, I don't. I want that. I need that car. Let me just go ahead and unlock it real quick. So I have to play.
Can you unlock them after the fact, or are they just do they recycle at a certain point?
They rotate eventually. Like it might come down the line, like maybe in 2, 3 months, 5 months. I don't want to risk it. If it's a car I like, I'm going to go ahead and unlock it pretty much. And I like pretty much all cars.
It's exciting. I'm not a car guy. So, Garrett, what are you playing?
I was playing a bit more Prey, but then me and another couple buddies downloaded or re-downloaded Fallout 76 and revisited that. And the game's actually not too bad as far as live service games have went in their way of progression and whatnot, but
yeah,
I don't know. It's still a thing. I don't really I think I have less appreciation for the leveling system with the cards.
What?
Yeah,
Sorry, you can go, Tom.
The cards was honestly the worst part about the leveling system. I love that you can build your own base though. I like that you can build your camp and put it anywhere you want. That's the coolest aspect for sure.
Oh yeah, I'm personally under a bridge. I feel like a little troll. I have a little water factory made up so I could sell my water limit every day. But yeah.
He's over there giving riddles to other players. gotta answer the riddle to get my water.
Well, pretty much. But actually, yeah, that is a hint. If you ever get into the game and you want to make up some caps quick, most people just make water purifiers and stash them on rivers and things. Because you could sell each for 4, and you have a limit of 1,400 per day. So you could just go around and I've seen people be able to cash that out in 20 minutes. It's insane. But yeah. Other than that, I also tried Empire of Sin, and I'm not gonna lie, I only got an hour into that game. Really didn't like that.
Oh. Why? Can you? What was wrong with it?
Well, because like I think I just went into it with the mindset of it's going to be like a park simulator for gangsters, right? But then there's just like the movements between the different aspects of the game and shit. Some of the conversations just seem very dry, robotic almost, and like it was almost as quick as my what was that game that I downloaded while we were doing a review one time?
The Medium?
The
No,
Call of the
Call of the
Wild.
Sea. Call of the Sea. That's what it
Call
was.
of the
Call of
Sea,
the
yeah.
Sea. Yeah. I remember you
And
downloaded
it's
it
just
while
like, yeah. And like it lasted about as long. Like I'm very quick with some games. It's like I'm either going to like I'm not going to deal with 8 hours of this. Not a chance.
You're not a it gets good after 30 hours type of guy.
Oh no, because like I don't know what was that little like psychological lesson you learned as a kid. There's like time that you invest into something and then you'll end up doing something you don't like for longer because of that initial time that you invested.
Yeah.
There's some word for that, but just like I was taught that lesson on life. If you don't like something, walk away.
Okay. I want to bring back to Fallout 76 because that's one of the FPS boost titles. Do you note it? Like, how does it look compared to what it originally looked like?
It plays a lot smoother, sort of like Prey, how I was saying last week about how you always caught stuff halfway through their transformation. It just like the responsiveness of it all around. You just seem to be able to catch more stuff off guard. You could sneak up better. It just seems more fun and immersive.
Was that one of the ones that they lowered the resolution?
Yeah, so that was my question.
It seems just as sharp. Like I don't know. I got a different TV from then to now, right? But it seems the same, just a lot smoother.
I don't know how much they dropped it. I heard some people say it's 1080p now, so maybe it's 1440, and 1440 4K. It's not that big of a difference.
Yeah,
in my opinion. Much more of a 30 to 60 is much bigger difference than
30 to 60 is what I noticed.
1080 to 4K. I think.
Yeah,
definitely
does well. In layman's terms, it doesn't take away at all.
Okay.
Yeah,
that's great. Probably not one I'll pick up. Not liking Fallout in general, but in terms of what I've been playing this week, I finished Crash 4, and by finish I mean I beat the story, and that's all I'm gonna do. That's all I really cared to do. I just bought it so I could have the continue my Crash Bandicoot story experience because I do like the characters, and it's just a fun little world to exist in for a while. The game so hard. Like I know we were talking offline about it, but some of those levels are absolutely ridiculous, especially that last little right before the final boss, that last level. Right before you hit the nitro box, there's like lasers, and you have to go through like every mask you've gotten in the game to get through the lasers, and you have to be like frame perfect, I swear, to get through that. I died 73 times. I sat there I was like, this guy's harder than Dark Souls. I don't know what's going on. Like, are my hands broken? Is the game broken? I even tried to just like cheese it. Like I had a golden Aka or whatever mask, and I was like, I'm just gonna blow through the lasers. So I'll like you have the invulnerability, but like it just doesn't work. Doesn't work.
But is it like Battletoads difficult?
So I played Battletoads with my brother, me, and a friend. We were playing Battletoads Thanksgiving, and we played for a few hours. Now I don't know how far we actually got into the game because we only got past the first level where you ride on like the bikes, and to like get the jewel or whatever you need, you have to beat it in like under 8 minutes, and we beat it in like 34. So clearly not good at Battletoads either. So it's really, really hard for me to say. I didn't think Battletoads was too difficult. Like it wasn't like frustratingly difficult in my opinion. Like it was still fun playing Battletoads, but Crash, like I did get a little frustrated. Like especially those lasers. The majority of the game, there were really fun levels. There were some that were just okay, and then there were other ones where I was like, I hate this. I'm like, who made this level? Just frustratingly.
Is there the dreaded 90s underwater level?
No, there wasn't an underwater level at all.
Good.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like in his little scuba gear, you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, I love that in Crash 3. I think I had that. I loved it.
Yeah, I think Wrath of Cortex had some Crash. I mean, that's one of the easier Crash games, but I think they had some underwater levels too. I wanted Crash to have, because Wrath of Cortex, I don't know if the other, I can't remember if the other ones had it, but you had ones where you like were in a ball, kind of like Fusion Frenzy, and you like go through the level trapped in like a ball.
That was Crash 4. Not Crash
No.
4. It was Crash. It wasn't Crash 4, but it came out on the Xbox and PS2. Whatever that one was, I don't know what it was called.
Wrath of Cortex, I know that one was on PS2 and that one had it, so that might just be the only one that had it. But I wanted a level like that. You know, you have the classic Crash Bandicoot things where you hop on little tigers, and the levels I did like because you can play as some of the other characters like Tanya and Dingo Dial. Their levels are really fun. You can play as Neo Cortex in a few levels. His levels suck. He's not fun to play as. I hated every moment of that because he gets like a gun and he can't jump, and it's just annoying. All his levels suck, but it was fun. It was a good time. So other than that, I'm playing Prey still. I'm like 8 hours in. I'm really liking it. I'm like, it's one of the RPGs that I'm like, I want to do the side quests. I want to like go. I'm dying a lot, and I don't know if it's because I'm like bad and like I don't get everything. I don't get the kinetic powers. That's certainly something like where you can slow down time, and it says I have an energy blast. I don't seem to be able to figure out how to use it even after reading the description. I'm clearly not good on that part, but I like the RPG aspect of it. I like upgrading. I like exploring the space station, getting more in depth with the story. So I'm enjoying it.
Have you been scared yet?
Yes, all the time, constantly. I play with headphones. It's creepy hearing the little mimics like crawling around, and I'm like, oh, I know there's something in the next room. Or the phantoms make really creepy noises too. It's just, yeah, I'm scared easily. The medium didn't scare me at all. This game is definitely way scarier than the medium, and it's because they have this music and they have those weird creepy sounds in space. The whole atmosphere just really gets me. And like I never played Dead Space, so like I couldn't handle Dead Space. I can handle this one, but it's just creepy. And then other than that, I put a few hours into Persona 5 Strikers. I don't know if anyone's. I don't know if you've touched it. Obviously, Garrett hasn't. He doesn't have a PlayStation. Or Switch. It is on Switch, but I would not want to play a game on Switch. The amount of, I can only imagine the frame rate drops on the Switch. It's fun. It's fun. It's probably the best Muso game I've played because it has story, it has beautiful cutscenes. It has, it's kind of like an RPG that is good, but just Muso combat. So they really did a good job with that one. I'm looking forward to playing those. And that's my week, guys. I've been busy, been tired, staying up probably a little too late playing games.
Yeah, you've been playing so much Prey. Every time I'm online, it's like, Kevin's on Prey again. Prey all day.
Yeah, I like eat dinner and then I'll sit there from like, I don't know, 5 to 8 and play Prey, and then I'll go play Persona from like 8 to 10 or something. Then it's
scheduled. He lives a scheduled life, guys.
I do live a scheduled life.
Even the I got some scheduled, man.
I got some Smash. I got some Smash Brothers in there, Got Smash going
so you're
on.
Still stomping everybody in Smash. How's that going?
Yeah. Usually, I mean, for the like weekly group, like weekly Discord streamer guy, I join. Shout out Kyle SQE podcast, Side Quest Enthusiast podcast. I go play with him. He's gotten better. I do stomp most people in the arena, though. I have to play.
Yeah, I watched a few of your games. It's pretty insane.
I tried facing him, and I couldn't do it.
I didn't even try.
Yeah, I'm just bad at the game, and I was like, I talked myself up though. So
you could probably come in and like be as good as these people in like a few games, like one night. Probably you'd probably be as good as most people in this lobby. They're like, I don't want to be mean, but like
clearly I'm better than them.
There's a skill gap here. And I mean, I joined his Smash League, all right, and the winner gets like $275, and I'm like 10-0, so I think I'm okay. But
we'll move on. Right here.
You won't be invited again. you won't be invited to the next one.
Probably not. No. Yeah, listen, man, I didn't put it together. I just got an invite. So we're gonna transition from Smash Brothers over to the news this week. We do have some news topics. Been a little slower of a week compared to last week, so let's jump right into it, guys. Story number one is Microsoft about to pay $10 billion or more for Discord. This is coming from Dina Bass and Katie Roof over at Bloomberg. The article states Microsoft's in talk to acquire Discord for more than $10 billion. According to the article, Discord is in talks with potential buyers, including Microsoft, but no deal is imminent, said the confidential sources. According to one source, Discord's more likely to go public than sell. So, guys, I want to get your reaction to this. If the deal was to happen, what do you think it would mean in terms of the Xbox ecosystem?
You want to go first, Garrett?
Well, I don't know. My point's pretty simple. I think it's a play after the whole Mixer blunder. If they could add Discord onto there and have some sort of streaming aspect somewhere down the pipeline integrated into Discord, I think they could have quite the potent little thing where people could like watch in like, let's say, a virtual family room setting, right? Because like us now, we're just in a small group amongst a bigger thing, right? So I think it could be quite the thing. But like $10 billion, man, I don't get that price tag. That's ridiculous. I didn't think they were bigger than Bethesda.
I mean, I think they bought Skype for quite a bit, in like the last couple of years as well. I don't know how much they paid for Skype, but they dropped a lot of money, which is weird to me, though. It's like, if you already have bought Skype, why would they have any sort of interest in Discord? Now, Discord, it does differentiate itself with being more like a community-focused thing for gamers.
Mm-hmm.
More like a forum looking for group stuff. So Discord does have its perks. I just don't really know what they would do with Discord. Like, besides just bringing it to Xbox, I mean, they can do that. Discord can do that now and bring a Discord up to Xbox, even without the Microsoft buying them. But I don't know what they can do with it.
Yeah, so there is a way to get Discord on your Xbox right now. I think it's through an app called Quarrel. I think is what it's called. Like, someone can correct me if I'm wrong, but you can. It's a third-party thing, but it lets you use Discord on your Xbox. I don't know how legal it is or anything. You know how it is like that. I've never used it, but I think Discord, first of all, it is primarily focused at gamers, but it has kind of transcended that, especially in COVID times, where people are trying to figure out what's the best platform to work from home and have video meetings, and realizing, hey, the ones we kind of use suck. Like, the amount of Cisco WebEx, I'm calling you out, Cisco WebEx, your platform is garbage, straight garbage. Zoom is all right. There's just Microsoft Teams is all right, but I think Microsoft Teams is kind of what Discord it's kind of Discord like there's a little chat room for your team members. So I think Discord does everything Microsoft Team wants to do, but better. So I'm not even sure that this acquisition would be for Xbox. It might just be a general Microsoft thing. Like, hey, they want to take Discord and then make Teams better, take all the technology from Discord and make that Microsoft Teams from now on. Certainly they could introduce it to Xbox and have it would make crossplay with PC and Xbox a lot easier if that was just our standard party chat. But everyone jumped immediately to, because Discord's related to gaming, like, oh, this is for Xbox. But I'm not entirely sure this is solely for Xbox. It could be a major Microsoft thing for every part of the company, and that's why they're willing to pay $10 billion more. But also, it says the deal isn't imminent, so I'm not sure if this is actually, it doesn't seem very likely to go through.
Yeah, it just doesn't seem too likely. Like, I'm sure if Microsoft threw an offer out there, how serious they are with the offer, I don't know. I feel like I'd be a little iffy with that. I think the big thing though is like, if it did come to the Xbox, like, how would it work subscription wise? Because right now we already have Discord Nitro. Discord Nitro in the past also included like a games service as well, like just like Game Pass. They had a bunch of lists, but they since nixed that as well. Would it be good? Do you guys think it would be good for if they did integrate it with Xbox, if like Game Pass Ultimate with Discord Nitro and add those PC games on the Nitro servers, do you think that would be better than having it on the Windows Store? Because right now the Windows Store is kind of trash.
I've never actually been in the Nitro, so I wouldn't know how much better is it.
Well, right now what Nitro does, it boosts the servers. Like you can boost servers for better audio quality. But the biggest perk previously was that you were able to get access to the free games that they offered every month.
I had no idea that was a feature. I didn't know they offered free games.
Yeah, this was like early Discord, and then it just like nixed it for whatever reason out of nowhere. It had its own dedicated storefront. You could have bought games on Discord, and it's gone.
That's interesting. I mean, it depends on how they integrate it. Because if they do away with Xbox Live parties and literally make it Discord, if hypothetically, if they buy Discord and then they're like Xbox Live parties gone, or Xbox Network parties, if they're going to call it, I don't know if that's what they're called now, but if they're like it's Discord, maybe that's why they're testing free to play, which we'll talk about. But if it's Discord, and then they're like, if you subscribe to Game Pass Ultimate, you get Nitro for free for party chats. That might be a good incentive. Excuse me. Sorry. But yeah, I would be perfectly fine if they do acquire a Discord and then they throw Nitro into party chat or Game Pass Ultimate. I think that would be a good incentive for people to up their audio experience, because people do care about that, and up their make Game Pass more worth it, because those little things, like when they had Disney Plus for like 30-day trial or whatever, those little things do get people in. Like it all adds up eventually. So I can only see it as a benefit if they went that route.
Yeah. I think another thing to add on this is if they got Discord, I don't think it should be something that's just like Xbox, They should definitely try to rush out the door and try their darnest to get it on Sony's platform. Try to possibly even get it on Nintendo, see if they're willing. I feel like just having this as an integrated platform where everyone can just communicate, like for gamers, will be ideal to have everywhere.
Got any thoughts, Garrett?
Not really. I was actually researching up some other stuff with the deal, but I'm not really anywhere to comment yet, so no, I'm passing for now.
Yeah, I mean, I think it'd be exciting. The thing I like about, if Sony was open to Discord instead of their party chat system, which is atrocious. I know they just redid it, and in their minds they think it's great, but I'm gonna tell you right now, it's atrocious the way they expect people to party up. And then they just got rid of communities as well, I believe, which is kind of like a Discord server. My understanding. I've never used the feature, and I'll never get to use it because it's getting rid of. But from what I heard, communities was kind of like, if we have our Discord, so this is like our little community. So I would be completely okay if they integrate things like having having certain friend community, like basically just take your Discord servers, and then you could have it would just make partying up with people so much easier. You could integrate the looking for groups straight into it, so you could find, if you're like, oh, I'm looking for a Destiny group, like maybe it just brings you to the Destiny Discord server on your Xbox, and then you post, and then you just go in there, click thing like looking for group, and then someone can send you an invite. It just seems like there's a lot of opportunities for integration that would make gaming easier if this was integrated.
Yeah, I think the biggest hesitant, the reason they'll be hesitant is like they're gonna want to hold their server, hold their own network on their own, like in terms of like reporting, for example. How can you report someone who did something on Discord from the PlayStation Network?
Yep.
But I mean, I feel like if Microsoft shows that they're willing to play ball and help them like be able to review those reports on their end instead, and Microsoft or Sony has some sort of confidence, or Nintendo has confidence in them as well, then I can see it as working.
And we're talking about PlayStation. What if they hit up their buddy Nintendo And I was like, hey, nobody uses your stupid voice chat app. How about we just let you use Discord? So yes, I've had a Switch for years, and I've never once used the Nintendo app to voice chat with it.
I tried it with Animal Crossing once, and it didn't work.
Yeah, they make you download an app on your phone, Garrett, and then it has to recognize, like it's linked to your Switch profile, and then it has to recognize that you're like in the room with someone else, not in like physical room, in like their lobby or in the game, and then it'll like automatically supposedly start talking. And I've seen people use it. I've seen some people like voice chat only for like Smash arenas, and they expect you to use this freaking stupid app. And I'm like, what's wrong with you people? Just use Discord.
That sounds so bad. Like
Discord is on your phone.
Almost inspired by. Do you guys remember when you like plugged the two Game Boys together in the Pokemon lobby, and you guys both had to wait in like that little room to show up in? And yeah. That sounds exactly what it's like. Wow, that's rough.
Yeah, it's not great. I think there's lots of potential there. Obviously, deal doesn't seem imminent. Probably one to keep an eye on, and some exciting stuff. But we'll move on to story number 2. Now, I want you guys to stick with me here because I'm about to go on a little bit of a tangent, but I promise I'm gonna bring it all around to Xbox. Okay, so this is coming from The Gamer. And that's a site that's kind of, I think it started out as a YouTube channel. And it was kind of like a joke channel, but recently they've been getting a little more credible in their reporting. So they say Sony will be shutting down PS3, PSP, and PS Vita digital stores this summer. Once these stores are shut down, titles on these stores will no longer be able to be purchased, though they may still be able to be downloaded if they already are owned. While not officially confirmed by Sony, this would lock off a lot of PlayStation classics not legally available in digital form on any other platforms. Now, obviously, that has to do with PlayStation, but we're going to bring this back around to a conversation that I think this topic really brings up. Because Xbox has taken a much different approach since the Xbox One generation, where it introduced 360 and OG Xbox backwards compatibility a few years after the launch of that and carried it forward. So which approach do you think is better and why? Obviously there's lots of talking points here. I just want to get your guys' overall thoughts on how do you feel about backwards compatibility?
I think in retrospect it's great that we could like show our kids one day. Like that's what I like about Xbox is like one day 10 years from now when I have a kid, I could show my kid Crimson Skies, Fusion Frenzy. And I think that there's a lot of gamers that are older than us that do have kids that can do that right now. Mm-hmm. And I'm just not at that point, but I still like to see where it's going. And for PlayStation to lock out what could be possibly little fun things that you did as a kid that you'd want to one day show your own. Like people that get physical, like the Physical Forever hashtag that I saw online that was blowing up recently. Those discs, a lot of them are just going to be warped due to moving 10 times and things over the years, and those are going to be gone forever now, right? So that sort of sucks.
Yeah.
I mean, Xbox is the only console that spans 4 generations worth of games currently with backwards compatibility. In terms of like how I feel about backwards compatibility as a whole, is like I like the idea that I can play these old games. Am I going to go back for the most part? Not really. I mean, right now I'm just going back to like Xbox One games, really, because those are like the most recent. And the library on the Series X isn't like massive yet. Like 360 games, no OG Xbox games. I'm not really touching those, but I love that they're still there. I love that I have the ability to go buy some of these games. Like right now, if you ever wanted to play like Metal Gear Solid 2 or Snake Eater, Metal Gear Solid 3 on the Xbox, you can go to the storefront and just download that game. It's a 360 game. And I think that's just great. But just completely locking out your services like PS Vita, they had an all digital one, the PS Vita Go. That console will now, like if this actually happens and this rumor is true, they won't even be able to download their games anymore, period. Mm-hmm. And that just completely ruins that entire console. For PS3, I mean, the only way to play those games is on the PS3 or by streaming them on PS Now, which not even all games are available. I don't like their approach. I think Microsoft is doing a much better approach, and I think moving forward, they should be a little bit more conscious of what they're doing. And I really hope they don't shut this down just because they still have a PlayStation Network like active, and I highly doubt that the PS3 is like, incurring a lot of costs. I'm sure the active player base is really tiny right now, and I'm sure that it's hardly a dent in their actual infrastructure.
Yeah. Whenever backwards compatibility gets brought up, people always ask me, well, like, why is it important? Like, old game's old. I'm sure we've all heard old game's old. And Jim Ryan, president and CEO of Sony, has often been critical of backwards compatibility, famously telling Time magazine that he doesn't see why anyone would play old games given the advancement in fidelity achieved today when they've dabbled with backwards compatibility. He says it's one of the features that's much requested but not actually used. And I would really like to see, like, he says that, and I'd like to hope he's not talking out his ass. Like, maybe that's true, but does that mean it's not important? And I disagree. Even if it's not used heavily, it's still used by certain people, and those people should still be heard. And I know I'm one of the people that love backwards compatibility. Like, when Banjo got announced for Smash, I was like, oh, I'm just going to hop on my Xbox and play through Banjo-Kazooie. And I could. Like, that game came out 20 plus years ago, and I just have access to it. And it wasn't originally on that console. So, I mean, right now I'm playing Prey, Xbox One game. So there's just these games that you want to be able to play. And I hope that PlayStation Now, not PS Now, but PlayStation right now, because you can play the PlayStation 4 games on PS5. I hope this is the start of them carrying it forward. I hope when the PlayStation 6 comes out, you can play PS4, PS5, and PS6 games. If we don't have access to PS3 and back, it's sad because I was looking at just RPG titles alone that are tied to those services that will be gone forever. And there's so many games in there that I can honestly say, if you made them available to me right now, I would pick them up. There's so many Tales of games on there that were PlayStation exclusives, and because I wasn't in that ecosystem at the time, I could not play. But I would love to play through them right now. But if they're gone forever, I simply can't. And that is sad. So from a game preservation standpoint, I really think backwards compatibility is important. And when we're preparing for the show, or we're looking this up, I did see that Sony has patented and they filed a patent. They haven't actually got it yet, but they filed one for allowing I think it's PS2 and PS1 games to get trophies through emulation. So my understanding is this was a feature on the PS4 when you could play PS2 games. They actually added trophies to certain games on the PS4. Now, perhaps they're closing these stores and they're going to bring forward catalogs to the PS5. My worry is that they're going to go on PS Now, and I'm not going to subscribe to PS Now. I don't want to stream the games. That's not what I'm looking for. I know xCloud, great. You want to stream the games, but it's a little different. If you just let me have a storefront where I can go buy the Ratchet and Clank games, buy those old Tales games, and have them in my digital library going forward, I will do that. I will gladly give you money. And even if I don't play them right away, you're still making money. So I don't really how expensive really is it to take the architecture and move it forward? Clearly it's possible. Xbox has done it. So just do it.
Do it.
Do it, yeah. I'm like, tweet that at Jim Ryan. Just do it. I got a little heated there, went on a little tangent, but I think you guys get my point.
Yeah, you got a little boof it.
Got a little boof
Just
it.
do it.
Yeah, I mean it's something that's always needed. Like he said, a lot of people don't use it, and I don't disagree with that. I'm pretty sure that's actually the case. I'm like, besides Xbox One games, I don't really go further than that. But
I don't know. I don't think it's absolutely that. I think it's a lot of a mix. Because like I talk to my buddies a lot, and like just last week, my one friend tried to get me to play what is it? Crimson Skies with him. And like I didn't even know that was multiplayer, but he was like playing it with his kid. And
Yeah.
just a whole bunch of other ones. Brute Force actually he told me he was playing. Like it's not multiplayer, but I was like, you're actually going back and playing those? He's like,
I
that's
play Brute
actually
Force
where I
again.
got my whole example from, right?
Brute
He
Force
was
2,
like
let's go.
with COVID. Yeah, because he said like the earlier games is like kids at 11 are playing Fortnite, right? But his
Yeah.
like daughter's like 5.5, so she's easily playing our old Xbox games, man. Like it's sort of sad. It's like, yeah, Brute Force, she was actually okay with it and whatnot. I was like, that's crazy. Fortnite era kids are nuts.
I mean, I went back a few months ago and was playing Doritos Crash Course. That's a 360 game. I went out of my way to buy, before it was on Game Pass, Ninja Gaiden Black and Splinter Cell Chaos Theory for when they got added to the Xbox One, the OG Xbox compatibility when that came out. I was like, I want these games in my library. Like, I can't play them online. I can't play Splinter Cell online anymore, which was a bummer, but I want them, and I'm going to like own them. And it's just going to let me have them. And so I know when the Series Z or Series SX or whatever the hell they're going to name this next console, as I imagine, it's just going to be a giant square. It's going to be a TV. It's going to be a giant TV built-in Xbox. I'll have those games, and they'll look great because they'll probably have some crazy boosting HDR. So I'm all for game preservation, especially when you make it better. And I'm not even asking Sony to make it better. I don't want to come off like a fanboy, but I think everyone knows for a fact that Microsoft does backwards compatibility better. So it's like it's an objective argument here that I want Sony to do this for
exactly.
games.
The bare minimum is just make it available.
Yep, exactly. It's not even a thing where I'm just like, well, Sony's lacking behind Xbox. Like, no, just give me the freaking games. Oh. All right. Anybody got anything else on backwards compatibility?
No.
If
Not much
not,
else.
we'll move on to a few shorter stories. Story number 3 is Xbox is finally making good on promises regarding multiplayer changes. This was a result of the fiasco when they tried to increase the price of Xbox Live Gold. But Xbox players currently a part of the Xbox Insiders program are testing the promised changes of being able to play free-to-play games online without an Xbox Live Gold subscription. But they're also looking for group and party chat no longer require Xbox Live Gold. I think it's a great change. I don't really have much more to say. It sounds great.
Yeah, I had no idea that the live chat was even like blocked behind a paywall until I saw this, and that was ridiculous. So yeah, it should be free totally. And looking for group, why not?
I think that change makes sense because what's the point in being able to play online like Fortnite, free to play, biggest free to play game in the world? What's the point in me being able to play online if I can't play with anyone?
Just use the in-game chat. You have to listen to the little boys cry. They're gonna talk about your mom, and you can't block it out.
Yeah, I
Those were the days.
they were not the days.
We were getting verbally abused. I got called a
It was
condom once
chaos,
during
man.
Halo 3. Can you believe it? I was called a condom? Now, what kind of insult is that? I was like, okay, I'm protection, I guess, but whatever.
Because you got to think like it wasn't meant to be an insult really back then. It was just people saying whatever they could think of to get you off your game. If it had to be a racial insult, it was. But a lot of the best ones that I ever heard that just made and it was just like a long list of like bad your mama jokes. Like the cornier the better, because all it is to make other people laugh. And like personally, I think it toughened up or mentally toughened a lot of the youth back then.
It made me permanently turn off chat. That's
Yeah.
yeah.
I've seen people on Reddit asking, why is nobody talking game chat anymore? And I'm like, bro, game chat died after the 360. Like nobody wants to put up with that. Nobody wants to put up with that anymore. I can't blame them. I'm friends with a dude that used to take a harmonica and play it into his microphone in game chat. So
Was it at least
That's
good?
pretty witty.
yeah, it's pretty good. I mean, not for the people listening to it, but decent.
But was it a recording? Because like that would take away from the gameplay. The whole point is to destabilize the other person.
No, it wasn't a recording. It was literally him grabbing his harmonica and playing it.
Oh, see, like you couldn't take your hands off. Yeah, no, I'm not in
It's
favor of that.
okay.
Can't take
It's
your hands
okay.
off the controller. You'll lose.
This friend of mine doesn't like guns in Call of Duty. He only would use Riot Shield C4, tack knife. So he really didn't need both his hands. He kind of just ran around and
So he's that kind of player.
Yeah, did his thing. He's that guy.
He's that guy.
Yeah, great change. I don't think there's really much more to say about that. So we'll move into a few rumors this week. And things have been a little hard to come by, but rumor number one was Halo Infinite's release date leaked. This comes from the Fadam and Friends podcast. I have no idea who that is. But the Halo Infinite actor Verlin Roberts seems to have revealed that Halo is releasing November 2021. Quote, that was one of my first auditions, was auditioning for the video game Halo Infinite, which was supposed to be out already, but with the pandemic and everything, and then I think they had some leadership changes, and now it's pushed to later November this year. Roberts revealed he's playing Spartan Griffin and revealed he's had some voice lines and mocap with Master Chief's voice actor and mocap capture artist. I'm just saying Halo's 20th anniversary is November 15th, 2021. That's a Monday, but I'm okay with them dropping it on a Monday.
That would make sense.
What do you think, Garrett? November?
November. Well, no, it's going to be Starfield then. So like I say end of September.
Do both. Come on.
Earlier.
They can do both.
I'd rather have Starfield
they
September and Halo November. Hell, I'll take Halo November, Starfield December.
I'll take them the
I
same
don't know,
day.
like all
I'll play multiplayer and then I'll
like
go play Starfield.
Skyrim, Fallout 76, they've all typically released very late October or like right around between like November 5th and like 14th.
Yeah, I just feel like,
So, like
with Halo and Xbox's 20th anniversary being November 15th, like if there's ever a day to do it, like even if it was done in September, just hold it to November. Like just have that like moment.
Yeah, Garrett.
fine.
And Starfield be damned. Starfield be damned.
Starfield.
It wasn't even announced
really
yet,
mixed
man.
feelings on
We
that.
haven't even seen a like gameplay. I don't think it's coming this year.
It's going to be exactly
I
like
still don't think
Fallout
it's coming this
4. Announce like gameplay in June, release in the fall. They typically like Fallout 4 and Fallout 76, Skyrim. They all typically had 5-month from the time that the first actual gameplay video was to release date. Like that's sort of their shtick, right?
Yeah, Todd Howard loves short release windows. He doesn't like to say it until like he knows for a fact. And that's what they do.
There's not enough time for people to pull stuff apart, right? Like as long as they hit like a good stride of like little things to show you about the game, then there's not too much backlash, right? But games that announce 4 or 5 years early, like look at Cyberpunk. Eesh. I think that thing was, no matter what, it was going to be picked apart on arrival, right?
Well, yeah, it was supposed to be the biggest game changer in gaming history.
Yeah.
Best game ever.
Just shut up for a bit longer and we're like, hey, we're doing a game, right? But they announced it like, when did they first announce it? I feel like
2012.
8 years was in my head. Yeah.
Yeah. 2012.
Like, there was way too much time on that.
I mean, personally, I was talking about this with my friends because we were all mourning Back 4 Blood being delayed today till October because that's a game we're all looking forward to. But we were talking about how games need to stop saying they're coming like if it's over 6 months away, just don't say anything. 3 months. At 3 months away, just come out, say it's releasing. That's all you need. I don't care about marketing cycles. I don't like 3 months is plenty of time to market something. And I know market people might disagree with me, but you're just wrong. Like I don't care. Just
No,
stop
it's
it.
marketing people saying they need a bigger paycheck. No, dude, you don't need me for 5 months. You need me for 3 years.
3 at most.
And we'll
3
start
is
taking
most.
pre-orders in 3 years. In the 3-year
Yeah,
mark. Why
I
not?
don't know. I think like they should do like a 2-year thing. Like first year, like every game 2 or 3 years before release. Like first one,
Oh
show a
no.
teaser. Second year,
Yeah.
gameplay. Third, and then like actual mechanics in the game that so you don't get frustrated right off the hop, right?
Oh yeah,
Like
I'm
imagine
fine with
how many people, let's say Fallout 4, if they didn't announce the building thing first. There would be some people that just wouldn't, right?
yeah. I'm
But
fine
I
with
think it
games.
gives time.
I'm fine with teasers, like the Starfield teaser. I'm fine with that being like a few years ago. Like, great, we know you're working on something. Like, that's fine to me. What I'm talking about is naming a release date. Like, Back for Blood was announced December at the Game Awards, right? That was the first time we saw it, and they were like, "We're releasing January 26th." You're saying that in December with a pandemic? Like, I don't care if there wasn't a pandemic. Don't tell me that. You can tell me you're releasing June 25th, freaking April 25th. Like, just wait. There's no reason.
Maybe it's a culture thing, because where were they located at?
I don't know where Turtle
Like
Rock
that would
is.
here. Can Google it.
Canada? Canada? I want to say Canada.
Oh, yeah. We
Are they?
pridefully do this now that I have to pivot on this point. Rah. No.
Well, if it's a Canadian studio, they can do no wrong.
Yeah, no, they definitely did. But I don't know. It would be interesting to see a study on media companies and whatnot for like how they do their stuff based on geographical location.
I think it'd just be interesting to see if like the longer marketing actually influences sales. Like I'm sure it's been done, but like I just find it hard to believe that like anyone. Do I need TV ads 8 months before a game comes out? Does that really help selling the game?
Well, if you're a kid, you have to convince your mom like all year long. You know, Mom, this game's coming out. Remember that. 3 months. You don't have a lot of time to work.
That's true. That's true. Or like, oh well, little Jimmy can get some video game money by doing some chores around the house every week or something. They gotta build that up. So I guess I mean we kind of forget video games target audience probably is mostly younger, even though there are lots of adult gamers, but they probably do lean towards more
Well, I think
children.
that's what they're trying to switch, right? I think they're annoyed with the fact that most gamers are 25, I think, to 32, I think was the peak
Really?
people now. Yeah, so kids are starting to go outside again, boys. Sorry to say it. Just kidding. They're sitting underneath trees on their phones. But they want to
Fortnite.
get them back inside on the couch, bro. And
Fortnite's on
that's
your phone?
with games like, Fortnite, colorful Battlefield 2. Gotta capture those youths.
Pokemon Go? Never stop playing.
Yeah, or
Pokemon Sleep? Pokemon Brush Your Teeth? Never stop catching them all.
never stop catching you all. Yeah, that's exactly the name of the game, bud. But yeah, no, it's just a crazy little thing. But then again, that could be a whole thing behind xCloud. Now people can game underneath them trees there.
Well, that's why Japan mobile gaming is like that's why the Switch is doing
Yeah.
gangbusters over there because Japanese homes don't have room for giant consoles and they are always on the go over there. And this is what I've heard and been told. You know, that's what they want to be able to game mobily.
Japan, South Korea, I heard too. Actually,
Mhm.
because
Yeah.
their like 5G network capabilities are just insane.
Yep.
But
which is why I mean Xbox.
yeah,
I think I saw.
that the
I
people
think I saw
with
sales
5G, I
figures.
guess, have never mentioned. Isn't South Korea just doing fine? Are they not falling apart?
I mean, I thought they had like a booming economy, right? Like,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah, like
I mean, they
Probably
got
'cause of
K-pop
them
bands
Swedes.
and popularity. They got Korean noodles.
I saw,
Yeah.
I'm sure they're fine.
But I saw some sales figures today for like consoles in Japan for like I think it was the last month, and Xbox only sold like 1,000 units or something, and PlayStation I don't know, it was like 5,000, and the Switch was like 12,000 or something. So like Xbox still doesn't have any sort of presence in the Eastern markets, but I think that's why they're so eager to get like xCloud going, because then they can be like, hey, everyone, like you like the Switch? Look what we got. Like you can just have this for $10 on your phone and play all of these games.
Yeah, and you said that was consoles, right? So like I'm guessing that was a lot more to do with diehard people that bought like the PlayStation before. It's like I'll sacrifice no matter what I have to. But there's like I want to start to see like concurrent users for like xCloud and other streaming services, because I think that's way more important, right? Like it's just yeah, there's probably a lot more. We're still facing some backlash where stock shortages are going and scalpers are still a thing. Like it's almost a year later now.
Yeah,
Well, not
I
a
wish
year.
Microsoft would be a little bit more concise with its numbers, instead of like we got 15,000 or 15 million Xbox Live users or Xbox Network users now. But
Well, we do get Game Pass numbers every quarter, right? Like we got it was 18 million less, but that's not cloud. Like there's different levels. Is that Game Pass Ultimate? Is that Game Pass? How many are using the cloud feature? And the
exactly, is that PC? Is that phones? Like, I don't know.
The cloud still is in beta, so I guess like maybe they're waiting to report that in. Like I don't know, they stopped reporting console sales forever ago, so all the console sales are just guesses. But in terms of like the cloud, once it gets out of beta, if they're still not having anything in the Eastern market, then I think they might start to worry like, okay, maybe it's just not in the cards for us over there, especially with their big push, working with Sega, working with these Japanese companies to try to entice them more. And that kind of transitions to our second rumor. We're speaking of Japanese companies. Jez Corden and Special Ed have both teased that Persona could be on its way to Xbox, both on Twitter. Obviously there's no official confirmation, but Atlas put out a survey recently asking if people wanted Persona on Xbox, and has shown a willingness to recently port to other systems, with Persona 4 Golden coming to Steam last summer and Persona 5 Strikers getting a Switch version. So Persona is huge. Do you guys think Persona would help Xbox in that market?
I mean, it wouldn't hurt. I think those gamers in those markets are going to be sticking to like Sony consoles or Nintendo at that point, anyways. But definitely a big plus for like us Western audiences who want to play Persona without having to pick up a Switch or Xbox or a PlayStation. I mean, good that Golden. I saw Golden came out on Steam last year. I didn't want to pick it up because
I got it. It was so good.
Yeah, I didn't like the art style. Like I didn't have that cell shaded art style that Persona 5 did. So I was like, eh. So it looks kind of dated, and so I didn't want to really play it.
Well, it's a PlayStation 2 game.
But being cell shaded would have like helped make it not look dated. Like have you Jet Set Radio Future? That game does not look dated just because of its art style.
I got over it pretty quickly because the story is fantastic. Like if someone asked me pick Persona 5 Royal or Persona 4 Golden, like I would really struggle to decide which one I like more. I think there's more quality of life stuff in Royal, but Golden, there's a lot of characters I like in Golden more than I like in Royal, I think.
Fair.
Also, they're pretty similar games. There's a lot of like overlap where it's almost like they kind of told a similar story. And I was playing through Persona 5 and I was like, I don't know if Atlas is really really creative. It kind of seems like they're telling the same story in a different way a little bit here, but that's a different thing. I know, Garrett, you're not a JRPG guy, so I don't know if Persona.
No, I'm not a JRPG, and the only thing that I'd say is like, I don't know. If you stripped away the JRPG-ness of this wouldn't even make the news. Like, all right, so it was a great PS2 game, right? So that would be like saying Fable 1 is releasing on PlayStation.
I think that would be a big deal, right?
I would. Xbox exclusive going to PlayStation?
Well, okay. It was like, what should I say then? Like, all right,
Fable
Dead
1's
Rising.
amazing.
Dead
Yeah,
Rising. Man.
nobody.
Sorry, I got the name.
I don't think they would
Yeah.
care if Dead Rising came out. There's plenty of zombie games.
So I think it would just be like if you took away the only reason why it's popular is that it's the Persona name. If there was any other kind of game that it was some game from the PS2 generation, it wouldn't matter. So it's going to be a flash thing. People are going to talk about it for a little bit. Streamers are going to use it for 2-3 days, but then it's just going to go back to it because the people who already loved and played it already owned it on the PlayStation or Switch.
It's fair. It's fair. Well, we're going to continue talking about Japanese games with our last rumor. And maybe they're not all Japanese. You know, they have a Western division, but 6 more Square Enix games are apparently coming to Game Pass. And this comes from IGN Korea. And let me tell you, was not aware there was an IGN Korea before today. So, learned something new. But they report that more Square Enix titles are coming in the future and say it's an open secret in the industry that more than 6 Square games have already been confirmed and are currently adjusting their release schedules for Game Pass.
Yeah. Makes sense.
I know Outriders is coming. That's being published by Square Enix. I looked at their release schedule on releases.com for 2021, and I really have no idea what the hell these other titles could be. If they're new IPs, if they're old IPs, is Octopath Traveler considered one of the 6? Is Final Fantasy VII Remake? Is Life is Strange? Is Balan Wonderworld? Which, God, I hope not, because nobody wants that game.
Stop it.
I concede 6. I mean, they announced previously that Microsoft announced that they were trying to bring all like Final Fantasy titles to Xbox Game Pass. So Final Fantasy X's not on there, 10-2 is not on there, 13 Lightning Returns, and whatever the other 13 game is called. There was 13 games.
Yeah.
So all 3 of those.
14's not coming, right? That's what the director said.
I wish it did. Like, I really feel like Xbox can use a really good MMORPG, and that game worked so well on my PS3 and on my PS4. And primarily, I play it on PC now. I would love to play it on my TV though.
Yeah. No, I love Final Fantasy, so I'd be all down to try it. Is there a monthly subscription for 14?
There is. The starter, I think, is like $12 a month.
Oh.
It keeps it from being pay to win though. Like if you play a free-to-play MMORPG and then you play this and you're like, oh, okay, I can see the benefit to paying that subscription fee.
I played World of Warcraft for a little bit back in the day, so
yeah, I've played every expansion besides the most recent one that came out, I think, like 2 months ago.
I fell off of it. I think I did up to the Lich King. So like
that was a really good one. That's like top 2 for like an expansion at this point. That one's just really good.
Yeah, it was a really good time. But I wanted to like what titles do we think I just named the titles that are coming to Game Pass? Do you think it's gonna be some ports? Do you think there's some unannounced stuff?
Probably just more Final Fantasy old school stuff. I mean, I don't know what else they can bring that's new besides Outriders and that. And their future releases don't really look good.
Right.
Besides Final Fantasy 16, I guess.
Which is PS5 exclusive for
so
a while.
Yeah, it's like I don't
7 Remake. I think 7 Remake would be good to get.
But are we ever actually gonna get that game? You know, I honestly don't think we're actually gonna get it.
No? You think it's permanently exclusive?
Yeah, I don't. I feel like we're not. That's one we're not gonna get. I
don't think we're getting it this year.
Marvel's Adventures. Sorry for interrupting.
Marvel's Adventures is one. If they throw that on Game Pass, it can actually help boost the numbers.
And then
the new DLC just came out recently.
So yeah, I think they could fill out that list pretty quick. And they could also put the Tomb Raider dudes on there. Supposedly.
I forgot about. They just had the whole trilogy on sale for like less than $20. I can still see that on there.
I just realized I'm becoming the guy that Googles things during the show. Oh.
I think Shadow of the Tomb Raider was on Game Pass at some point.
I think that one was. I remember it being I know it was on PlayStation Now, so I would imagine it was on Game Pass.
I think it was. I can see. I forgot. Yeah, the trilogy would be 3 games right there. I imagine Balan Wonderworld will get on there at some point when it flops hard because it's like the worst game ever made.
I think it's already flopping hard. I think that might be the next one too. Day 1 on game.
I think that comes out tomorrow, right? Like something today. That come out today. Like might
Nope,
come out today.
I could Google it.
Just announce it this afternoon.
It's not launching on Game Pass, but I think when they see the sales numbers and they're like, "Wow, 10 people bought this game. Maybe we should put it out for free and fire the people that made this game." They might put it on Game Pass.
I wonder how much leverage they get with Microsoft at that point. It's like, well, the game didn't sell well. Let's go to Microsoft and see what they charge us. You know, we would have gave you more if you did this beforehand, but since you wanted to take that risk, $2.
Yeah, and it releases tomorrow, by the way.
Okay, yeah. So,
Yeah.
I from all the talk, I'm pretty sure that game's gonna score in like the 60s if it's lucky on Metacritic. So, it's gonna be a rough one. They can certainly bring that. Final Fantasy VII Remake. I want it on Game Pass because I really don't. I want like a next gen version too. I want like a Series X because we're getting the PS5 version with DLC. So if they give us anything less than that, like it's kind of slapping you in the face, like they did with Control, where it's like PlayStation Plus had Control Ultimate Edition, or Game Pass had regular Control, and I was like, I'm just gonna play the Ultimate Edition. Like, why wouldn't I do that? But I'm already upset at Sony for locking the upgrade. But I can't download Final Fantasy VII this month and get a free upgrade. Like, that's bullshit. So, yeah, it's nonsense. So if they give us Final Fantasy VII Remake, then it needs to be the next gen version with the DLC. Even if I have to buy the DLC separately, just give me the game on Game Pass. Like, that would draw people in. I think that would bring subscriptions. And if not, I'll just buy it on PlayStation. Like, I don't think we're getting it this year, though. I heard Jeff Grubb say something about this, I think, where he was like, no, it's not coming in 2021.
I don't know. I feel like that franchise is really like heavily focused on Sony. So I feel like anything can happen. And I don't know. Sony has to be a little shaky right now, seeing all the purchases of Microsoft. They have to do something, and I think Square is right up their alley.
They just bought Evo. What are you talking about?
Yeah, or what's Evo gonna do though? Like Evo, all right. So you have a fighting game tournament. Did they actually buy Evo?
Yeah, they bought Evo. Yeah. Sony bought PlayStation bought Evo. They're calling it a strategic partnership. I think they are keeping the two of the main people from Evo for like strategic like planning for the future and stuff. And they say it's not closed off to other platforms. That was like their statement. It was like, hey, just
I was gonna say because if Killer Instinct 2 comes out, if it's not on the Evo circuit, it's gonna be pretty much a dead game already. So.
Well, I mean, people were worrying that Smash Ultimate was going to get barred from Evo, and when they asked Nintendo about it, Nintendo was like, we'll continue to assess Evo as an option for future Smash Brothers tournaments. And I'm like, you're going to freaking take Smash out of Evo, aren't you? That's what that statement read to me. Like, you don't want to say it, but like, what next year when we can go to events and there's going to be like Street Fighter 6 and, Tekken and the Guilty Gear, and they're all like playing on PlayStation at the tournaments because I think they get played on PlayStation mostly anyway. But then they're going to be like, "Where's Smash?" And Nintendo's going to be like, "Nah, no, we're not doing that. Not going to put our game with PlayStation logos around the venue."
Mm-hmm. We'll make our own tournament.
Yeah, I don't think Sony will kick them out. I think Nintendo will kick themselves out.
Yeah, but if they make their own, I don't think Nintendo's has been like really good at event organizing. So whatever they put out, besides their Rex, in terms of an actual event, I think it would flop.
Oh, Nintendo holds their own Smash tournaments, but they do items on, or like they do like online. And I remember there's a clip where they're playing and then the connection drops and it like lags really hard, and they're like, "Oh, some technical difficulties here." And it's like, no, you're freaking online. Didn't
they cancel one of their tournaments like midway from it, like due to some issues. I think I saw that a while ago.
Yeah. So for Melee, people use Slippy, which is like a emulated online version because obviously nobody has GameCubes and GameCube doesn't have online. But Nintendo sent cease and desist letters like that. They're like, we will sue your ass if you try to show this on Twitch. So yeah,
That's so stupid.
Yeah. I disagree with a lot of what they're doing. I love them, but I don't like how they handle esports for Smash Brothers. Splatoon is what you're talking about. They canceled Splatoon, the semifinals and the finals, I believe. They just cut the championship short because all the Splatoon players were changing their usernames to like Save Melee or like Free Smash Brothers.
That's what it was. It was. Yes.
Yeah.
I love it. And they didn't say that's the reason why. They were just like, I forgot what it was. It's like, it was just some stupid PR speech. I was like, we know what happened here, guys.
Yeah.
Stop being dicks.
But yeah, Sony bought Evo, so they got the fighting game community on lock now, and they have JRPGs on lock from the sounds of it, except the ones they let trickle over into Game Pass. We have Octopath Traveler, and they don't. There's one. Put it in the column. It's like 1 to 26.
I'll play it once it drops.
It's out. Came out last night.
I'm playing it today, right after this podcast.
All right. Well, that's all we got for this week, guys. Unless anyone has anything else, I think we'll wrap it up.
Good to go.
I don't know, man. I think they could own the JRPG market pretty quick with a few freaking $10 billion acquisition.
Who, Xbox?
Yeah,
the Japanese market won't do it, dude.
Talking in numbers that high. Eventually, like they just went over in like how much 17 billion now, if that acquisition does go through. Like it's just the fact that people are thinking in numbers that big is just, I don't know. I still can't get over that.
Yes, but Xbox made 15 billion. Microsoft made 15 billion last quarter. Yeah. So they're fine.
And the fact that like, wasn't there like a Sega executive that was fired, like their CEO, or was laid off or something because he was doing not letting Xbox have a chance or something? I believe I read an article like that 2 or 3 months ago.
I don't remember that. I know Sega is pretty happy with Game Pass. From that Muro Gamer article that came out like a month ago. They love Game Pass. Yakuza's killing it on Game Pass. So I'm not sure if you can find it real quick, but
yeah, I'm looking it up.
I mean, Game Pass just seems a plus to Sega. I don't think Yakuza is like the biggest franchise.
Well, it's not. I mean, whenever Yakuza got brought up in a conversation before this, I was like, oh, that's that shitty brawler like JRP like Japanese game. And then I played Like a Dragon. I'm like, this is my game of the year. Like a Dragon is top 10 ever. Like I love this game so much. And then like I don't like the other ones. Like I still don't like the brawler combat. But like Sega is higher in my books now than it's been in years. Like I'm just like, what do you got for me, Sega?
Found the guy. Sega has announced the resignation of its president and chief of publishing officer, Kenji. I'm not going to try the last name. In an official notice resignation released by the parent company, Sega Sammy Holdings, it states that Kenji will leave the company as of today, and this article was July 31st.
It doesn't say why, though.
That's just the one article that I was read so far. I was just trying to cement there was a little bit of reality to what I was saying. And then
I would like to think that the guy didn't get fired because he was like, I'm not working with Xbox, and everyone else was like, no, you are.
No, I think he just it wasn't technically working with Xbox, but it was taking unapproved donations from Sony or something like that, if memory serves correct. I'm trying to find another site to verify.
This is some conspiracy.
We'll slip you a $10 bill to keep Yakuza exclusive on PlayStation. I'll do it.
Well, no, it's PlayStation has had some stories that I've read over the years where they do some weird stuff, man. I'm just trying to find something to back it up. Thanks for like keeping it going. But where's this guy's name? I'm just gonna Google it.
Welcome to conspiracy theory here at Project XTalk.
Yeah,
where we
this
look
is
up the
why I don't
shady
have my own
dealings.
channel, guys. It gets into the darker side of gaming.
Yeah, this is where we look up the shady business dealings of executives at video game companies and expose their dirty secrets.
Expose their dirty secrets. This is not old news, or this is old news, bud. Just brushed under the table.
It's news
It's
to
almost like
me.
Sony is a media company or two.
You know what I always forget.
Shared on XTalk.
You know what I always forget is that Sega's full name is Sega Sammy, and every time I hear that, I'm just like, it's so weird. Like, who's Sammy?
I didn't know that was it. That's so stupid.
Yeah, Sega Sammy Holding Company.
Yeah. Well, I can't find it right now. I'll do some more research and get back to you guys. I just found that like he's citing short-term personal reasons. I found that on one, and then there was like a couple others, but it was like those pay for the ads or like go through like 30-second things. So I'm trying to skip those. But I swear that I read that somewhere. I'll look it up and try to cite it.
Personal reasons, as in Sony threatened his family and was like, "You better leave."
At gunpoint,
You better get out of town.
You showed us the way with Yakuza. We'll keep it going.
Oh, we've played the Yakuza games, and we know how this goes. All right.
Yeah.
You could be floating down the river.
Speaking of Yakuza, I just want to say the pigeon attack is some of the most hilarious stuff that I've seen. Like, just that whole character's thing with the magic. He, like, throws...
Yeah, Namba, he's the best.
on people. Like, God, I love him. He's my favorite. Hands down.
Think it's hilarious that he's, like, the mage class, and, like, all his attacks are, like, it's, like, shitty-ass magic. Like, he breathes fire by, like, drinking alcohol. Like,
yeah, so and just spitting it at people. It's, oh, my God, it's great.
Yeah, game of the year. Everyone go play Yakuza Like a Dragon. And for legal reasons, Sony did not threaten any Sega executives. Everything said in the last, 10 minutes.
Yeah, this is just speculation. And I never said threaten. I just said accepted bribes.
I would like to clarify, we are not speculating. We are doing this as a parody, and it is a joke. We are going to now end the podcast. If you do not hear from us next week, it's because Sony has killed us. So
you sound so sus.
I've been Kevin, aka the Muffin Mon, on Twitter, Xbox. Follow us on Project XTalk. Feel free to join our Discord. Get chatting in there. Share stuff you want to see us talk about on the podcast. Tom, where can they find you?
You guys can find me on Twitter at Chronicle Tom. I don't post there, but you can follow me.
And Garrett.
Way1G on Twitter and Xbox.
Also does not post on his Twitter. I'm the only active user on Twitter.
Like, it's
posts.
Just, I don't know, man. I've never been one of those social media guys. Like, not ever. Actually, Reddit is my most
I use Reddit a lot.
One.
Reddit and Twitter. Yeah. People just gotta know my thoughts. I'm a genius.
Oh my God.
To know it. But
this is I could totally run a conspiracy thing. I'm going deeper into Google. I just outright said Kenji, whatever his name is, taking bribes. And it's the only time that I've ever seen that there is like no stories. Write something else here. You're like, ooh. Done.
Garrett's on the dark web right now.
We're gonna fade to black now, guys.
Yeah, fade to black.
Goodbye.